I just came from the premiere or advanced screening of The Haunted Mansion. So thank you to our friends over at Disney Philippines. And I honestly didn't think I would enjoy this film as much as I did. So admittedly, we got a previous film starring Eddie Murphy, and with that, it was just okay. I mean, I liked it. Not that memorable, to be honest. I didn't think that we needed another movie. So when I found out that we would get Haunted Mansion, and this is not a sequel, this is like a reboot, if you will, or a new film, I wasn't all that hyped up for it, but I now see that this is a film that redeemed the first. It's much needed for us to actually have a pretty good, decent Haunted Mansion film. Let me start off by saying that this is in line with Disney's Disneyland theme park. So we had Haunted Mansion in the past, we also had Tomorrowland, we also had Jungle Cruise. And this is a new version of Haunted Mansion. If you have gone to Disneyland, if you've ridden the ride, this is something that is a testament to honoring that. It does take a lot of the elements from the ride, the story, some of the things that you see and experience in the ride, and you put it in this film, and it was actually pretty much like an Easter egg for those who have experienced it. If you've never been to Disneyland in the first place, you may not get those little Easter eggs, but it's fine because this movie actually gives a lot more substance than the first one. And that's the main thing I loved about this version. We get a lot of heart and depth and emotionality, an emotional quality to this movie, which the first film felt more like a family film that didn't really make sense, that was trying hard to be one for the entire family. This one felt like you had moments that were really personal. And it makes sense because when you deal with ghosts, when you deal with a haunted mansion, it's good to unearth ghosts that we experience on a regular basis, like things that haunt us, such as loss, such as heartache, such as depression, such as grieving. Those things were actually addressed, and it was best done through LaKeith Stanfield. I loved him here. I absolutely loved what they did with this actor and with the character, because it was again the portion of the film that made the most sense. Personal, yet it involves you in. It's very relatable. Yes, it is still a film for the entire family, but now all the more for grown-ups, all the more for adults. You can actually empathize and actually get more from this movie. You have such a well-rounded cast, not just LaKeith, Tiffany Haddish, Danny DeVito, all of them, Owen Wilson, do an amazing job. And it's almost as if they have like this specific role. And it makes sense when you have that, when you have a distinguishing factor to your team, to your cast members, and you know who's going to deliver the funny lines. Like Tiffany Haddish was just brilliant here. She reminded me of Whoopi Goldberg from Ghost. And this is again surprising given the fact that Disney hasn't had the best track record as of late. They've had ups and downs this year, but this is somewhere towards the middle and even better films that they've released so far. I also love how they had so much depth and an interesting quality to the ghosts. The ghosts themselves have a nice background story. And even the animation style this time around felt a bit cleaner. It felt like, okay, you want them to look like astral figures and spirits coming around back and forth, but they were well animated this time around compared to the Eddie Murphy film. And lastly, what I loved about this the most is just the atmosphere that it provides. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's got a bit of dark moments. Again, it deals with themes of grief and loss, but it combines it in such a way that you still feel happy, you still feel entertained. There's a nice, even holistic way of presenting New Orleans. I think the most interesting part about this, or the thing I love the most, is the combination of fun and dark tones, which just made it sing. Thinking about it now, there's not much negative things I could say. There were moments that it felt like a Disney Channel original film, especially in the beginning. I wasn't all that like a big fan of the ending. It felt like the conclusion or resolution was a bit rushed in my opinion, but overall this is a solid 8 out of 10. It's not the best movie I've seen, but it's definitely, again, just like Barbie, a film that surprises you, especially for me. If it surprises me enough that I didn't know what to expect and you nailed it, Haunted Mansion definitely did a great job. So that's it for this review. As always, don't forget to make every day into an adventure. That's it for me, guys. Continue to like, follow, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're up to date whenever I drop a video here on the channel. Stay safe, guys, and God bless.